Is that still upside down? That was not fun. Absolutely not fun. I feel like I just ran a marathon. Wow. What's up everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we are finally adding window tint to my Audi R8. It's the only car in our garage right now that has absolutely no tint, and we can feel a huge difference when we drive this car around versus driving around one of our others that is fully protected with tint. So the main benefits in adding tint to your car, or the proper window film, not only does it give it a cooler look by going with a darker color of course, but it also keeps your interior much cooler as well. And if you get the proper window film, it can block up to around 98% of the UV rays. And the best way that I can explain this to you, if you don't have any window film on your own car, next time you're driving down the highway, try to notice if you can feel the heat from the sun coming through your driver's side window, or even if you have a passenger and the sun is on that side, of course. You can feel a huge difference, and especially in this car on a hot day like it is today, it's well over 90 degrees. Even having the AC blasting on the interior, you can feel all the heat from the sun. So in today's video, I want to do something a little bit different. We've done a lot of videos on installation, how to put window tint on your vehicle. I'll have some of those linked down in the description below. But today I'm going to hop into the interior of my car. I've had it sitting out in the sun here for around 4 or 5 hours, so I know it's well over 100 degrees on the interior. I'm going to hop inside, see if I can last 15 minutes. We'll get window film put on the car, and then I'll do that test again and try to convey to you guys how much cooler it will be once we have the window film installed. And so this is something that you should do on any vehicle. I highly recommend it. If you go with the correct film, you can get the cool factor. You can also get the interior cool factor as well. Let's go ahead and hop in and see how long I can last. All right, so right off the bat, I'm gonna start my 15-minute timer. So that way you guys know I'm going to sit in this car for hopefully 15 minutes. I can already tell you it is very hot on the interior, especially being on the outside for just a few minutes. My shifter, my aluminum shifter, is incredibly hot to the touch. Wow, and it is very humid feeling, and it's very hot on the interior. So obviously you probably wouldn't be sitting in your car for 15 minutes, but if you're waiting on someone, you get somewhere early. I've been sitting in my car for a little bit of time, and sometimes you don't necessarily want to have your vehicle on and running. You just want to sit for whatever it may be. Sorry, I feel out of breath because it's so hot on the interior here. I've only been in here, let's see, 1 minute. And I don't know if I'm going to last all of the 15 minutes. I don't know if my camera is going to overheat, so I have my other camera just in case. But yeah, it just feels like, it almost feels like I'm at 7,000 feet in elevation. Like there's less oxygen in here. I'm breathing a little bit more heavy. And again, obviously you wouldn't just go out into your car and sit like I'm doing in today's video. But I really want to show the differences in the heat reduction that I'm hopefully going to feel once we have all the tint on the inside. I'm already sweating. I've only been in here a minute and a half according to the GoPro camera. And yeah, it's very hot on the interior. I don't recommend doing this. I'm going to try to last as long as I can for you guys. It's been 2 minutes according to my timer here. You can see that. Oh, it went away. So you can see that just been over 2 minutes. I also want to see, not every car has an aluminum shifter, but that is usually the hottest thing. I haven't done this before, so this is a test for you guys. Give the video a huge thumbs up for doing this. Oh man, I don't know if I'm gonna last. So it's gonna be interesting to see how much farther I can last and be more comfortable once we have all the window film on. It's definitely something that I've noticed over the few years of actually having proper window film on vehicles, especially on the windshield. I can feel the sun coming in on my arm right here. And when you put on that layer of film, you can still see the sun on you, of course, but it takes away that heat reduction. So especially if you're driving for long distances and you have that sun on your driver's side, you're getting all of those harmful rays on the one side of your body. So essentially, you're kind of getting that tan, you're getting all of that heat and everything on the one side of your body versus being able to protect most of that and basically just get in the light without actually getting the heat and everything like that. Wow. All right. I've been in here almost 4 minutes now. Oh man, we just went under 11 and a half minutes there. And, I mean, I don't know if you guys are going to see this, kind of a gross video, but we'll see how much less I sweat. And, in the after part of this video. Not really sure what else to talk about other than it's extremely hot in here. And there's been a lot of videos of people accidentally leaving their children in the back seat or something like that, pets, dogs, cats, whatever it may be. With window film, you can kind of reduce that. So if you do accidentally leave a child or anyone in the car, you can at least reduce that heat. I don't have a temperature gauge for how hot it is on the interior, but it's well over 100 degrees, I can tell you that. We're closing in on 5 minutes. Wow, another 10 minutes. My hands are getting all clammy. And my arms are completely covered. Completely covered. The air is very, very thin. It's hard to breathe. I'll tell you, it's not getting any better. Getting close to 8 minutes, so we're almost halfway there. Oh, this is really tough. But honestly, I'm very excited to see the differences. Obviously, it's still going to be hot on the interior. Especially if the car has just been sitting like it is right now. I'm not even moving. I literally have sweat dripping off of my elbow right now. I don't know if you guys could see that, but I'm just sitting here and my shirt is really bad. I'm trying to talk a little bit too, just so you guys know that I'm actually gonna try to do the full 15 minutes. Even if I do, hopefully it'll be more pleasant and enjoyable once we get the film on. I don't know if I can make it another 5 minutes, to be honest. 10 minutes seems like it's way far or way more than I need to go. Even my shirt is hot. Like putting my shirt up against my head here, I can feel the warmth on my shirt. Now it's going to be hotter on my left side, of course, because the glass is right there versus my right side. And wow, this is miserable. I really hope there's a good after to this before. Another benefit we'll see is how much cooler my shift knob is, because that is aluminum. So that's a great test because the windshield goes right to that. Steering wheel, very hot to the touch. Obviously wouldn't burn you, but it's very, very warm. So window film could also better help protect your dash too. If you have leather, even some cars that may have a suede dash, anything fancy like that, it can keep the heat off from brutally attacking it, especially if your car is outside all the time. But it's a huge difference, you guys. It's a huge difference. It is well worth the money too. Now, when we grew up doing window tint on our previous vehicles, we never did the windshield. We always just did the sides. Now, in some states, of course, you have to follow the state regulations and guidelines. The windshield can be illegal in most places. But if you go very, very, very light, you're still getting that UV protection without having noticeable tint. So you can basically get a clear film on the windshield, so it doesn't look like you have tint, but you're still getting that protection. So there's certain ways around it. Even if we did 90% tint all around, it would still look like it does now, but I wouldn't be feeling the heat. All right. Even the door handle is hot. Wow. That's hot. Okay, I'm out of here. I will see you guys tomorrow. I'll be more fresh, and I'll talk to you then. Is that still upside down? That was not fun. Absolutely not fun. I feel like I just ran a marathon. Wow. All right, guys, so it is the next day and we just arrived at Installations Unlimited. They're going ahead and pulling the R8 into the bay. Definitely check them out. I'll have all their information down in the description below, along with their Instagram, so make sure you follow them as well. They pretty much do everything at this shop, from window tint, they do electronics, truck accessories, wheels and tires. They also do suspension work too, so for trucks and cars, they're basically your one-stop shop to get everything done on your car. Alright guys, so the car is completely done. Once again, check out Installations Unlimited. I'll have all their information down in the description below. But let's take this home now and see what it's like on the interior. Alright, so we are back with the afters. I'm going to get my timer started. So we have our 15-minute timer. Now it is a few days later. I've been able to drive the car around and I've noticed a huge difference even driving home from Installations Unlimited just with the overall heat reduction. So now I have the same shirt on so we can do the exact same test. So I'm gonna go ahead and fast forward the first 10 minutes. We're already a minute into this and I can feel a big difference. Now it's still going to be hot on the interior. It's always going to get to the ambient temperature from outside. So without the tint, that means it's just going to climb a little bit more on the interior. So with this edge film that I have, I got 30% on the sides and the back and 80% on the windshield. Let's see if I can make it to the 5-minute mark and we'll go from there. Okay, so I have made it 10 minutes, and from my 10-minute experience here so far, I can feel a difference. Now it's not a huge difference. I'm still sweating, not as much as I did on the before, but my arms are sweaty like they were before. Shift knob doesn't feel as hot like I mentioned earlier, especially being aluminum. Door handle is a little bit hotter, but the main difference in providing or having the tint, not only does it keep it cooler on the interior, and when I say cooler up to the ambient temperature, it's around 93 degrees outside right now. So it's going to stay around 93. On my before, it was probably well over 100 degrees on the interior. So for that reason, there is a big difference, but it's also protecting you from the sun. So on my left side here, my arm in the sun here, or my elbow there in the sun, I can't feel the heat from the sun. So my elbow feels like it's the same temperature as my inside elbow here. Whereas before, this side of my body would be much hotter. So you could definitely feel the heat on this side versus the side that's away from the window, of course. So that's really the big issue, is being able to block the heat. But also, once I open up these doors or I start the car up, get the AC blowing, your car will cool down much, much quicker than if you don't have the tint. So there are a lot of benefits in getting window tint, and that's something that I highly recommend on any vehicle. And so, yeah, while I am sweating like I did on the befores, I don't feel as hot. Like it's weird to say, it's very, it's easier to breathe than in the before when it felt all stuffy and hot. And while it still is hot, it's 93 degrees in here at least, it just doesn't feel the same, if that makes sense. And while I am sweating just sitting here, it's not as much. So technically, sitting in one position like this, it's still hot on the interior, but the benefits, driving it every single day, having that sun come in through the glass, you're blocking yourself from all of those harmful rays from the sun. But what I think a lot of people don't realize with tint as well is the fact that a lot of people forget to do the windshield. The windshield is key because that's where all of the heat is coming through. That's the largest glass, so it's coming down right on your dash here. So it's definitely worth it to spend that extra money to get the windshield done. Well, my GoPro ended up overheating, and just being in the direct sunlight underneath the glass there, that's something that I just can't prevent. Cameras just can't sustain that amount of heat. But aside from that, I think window tint is something that everybody should definitely get. It blocks the heat for yourself. If you're sitting in your car for 15 minutes, maybe not so much, because it still is hot in here, just not quite as hot as if you didn't have the window tint. But it gives your car a better look, keeps you better protected from the sun. But I think that's going to wrap it up for today's video. Hopefully I could convey the best before and afters with getting window tint that I could. So give this video a huge thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and for me sitting in this car twice, so a total of a half hour. Check out Installations Unlimited. I'll have all their information down in the description below, and consider smashing that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on our daily uploads. I'll see you in the next video.